From Ryan Gosling's massive space epic to A24's terrifying horror, 2026 is shaping up to be an incredible year for sci-fi. But while everyone is busy talking about the same few blockbusters, some amazing movies are getting completely ignored by the algorithm. So today, we're ranking 15 sci-fi films from 2026 that absolutely deserve a spot on your watch list. And trust me, stick around for number 1, because it is the sci-fi event of the year. Kicking things off at number 15, Iron Lung. If you've spent any time on YouTube, you already know this started as an indie horror game that scared the internet half to death. Now Markiplier himself is directing the film adaptation. And honestly, the concept is pure nightmare fuel. After a cosmic event known as the Quiet Rapture wipes out every star and planet in existence, a convict is forced into a tiny, rusted submarine and sent into an ocean of actual blood on a desolate moon, with no backup, no way out, and no idea what may be lurking beneath the surface. Think the abyss mixed with a high-tech panic attack. The whole thing feels intensely claustrophobic, deeply unsettling, and genuinely terrifying, and exactly the kind of weird sci-fi that shouldn't work, but absolutely does. Don't let this one slip past your radar. At number 14, Redux.
I've been traveling in different parallel universes, looking for my daughter.
A mother watches her daughter get murdered. Grief destroys her, but then she discovers she can travel between parallel universes. So she does the only logical thing. She hunts down her daughter's killer in every single reality, executing him in one timeline after another. Sounds wild, right? It gets wilder. The deeper she goes, the more she loses herself. Every universe has a slightly different version of the truth, and the vengeance slowly turns into something she cannot control. The true brilliance of this film is how it takes a standard revenge premise and warps it into a deeply disturbing psychological descent. You start rooting for her, and then you realize you are watching someone destroy themselves. It combines the relentless brutality of John Wick with the mind-bending reality mechanics of Looper, creating an emotional impact that hits far harder than you expect. It is one of the most original sci-fi concepts of the year, and you absolutely don't want to miss it. Coming in at number 13 is Masters of the Universe.
Take the sword. You protect them.
This one literally just dropped in theaters, and it is an absolute visual spectacle. We have been waiting for a live-action He-Man movie for decades, and director Travis Knight finally cracked the code. The story follows Prince Adam, who crashed to Earth as a kid and lost his magical power sword. Now, decades later, he tracks it down and is pulled back to his homeworld of Eternia to defend it against the ultimate big bad, Skeletor. They didn't try to make this dark and brooding. They leaned fully into the absolute glorious insanity of the concept. With Nicholas Galitzine transforming into He-Man and Camila Mendes as Tila, the action is heavy, the world building is gorgeous, and the stakes are massive. Think Thor Ragnarok meets Bumblebee, but fueled by pure 80s heavy metal fantasy. If you grew up with the toys, this is the epic revival you've been waiting for. If you didn't, it is still one of the most explosive sci-fi fantasy rides of the summer. See it on the biggest screen possible. At number 12, The Mandalorian and Grogu. Critics handed it a cold 62% on Rotten Tomatoes, but the audience score is sitting at a solid 88%. The plot strips away the heavy franchise mythology and focuses purely on the duo's core dynamic. Din Djarin and his apprentice Grogu are back to taking on high-stakes bounties, navigating the lawless edges of the galaxy, and dealing with the remaining Imperial threats lurking in the shadows. It is a straightforward, boots-on-the-ground bounty hunter adventure built for the biggest screen possible. Number 11, Backrooms.
I found something in the store. It's beautiful.
You've seen the memes, but nothing prepares you for what A24 and Kane Parsons just unleashed. Failed architect Clark is already broken, with his wife gone and his life reduced to living inside his furniture store. Then he discovers a slit in his basement wall, a doorway that shouldn't exist. On the other side lies an endless maze of yellow wallpaper, damp carpet, and fluorescent lights that never stop buzzing. Clark becomes obsessed. He drags his employees into it, and eventually, even his therapist. And here's the nightmare. The Backrooms tries to replicate humans, but the results are horrifying. twisted limbs, distorted faces, and silent figures watching from the corners. And the worst one of all? It's wearing Clark's face. Parsons shot this on 30,000 square feet of practical sets. No CGI corridors, no cheap jump scares, just pure, suffocating dread that turns empty hallways into something genuinely terrifying. This is the most unsettling theater experience of 2026. At number 10, War Machine.
Retreat!
Alan Ritchson leads an elite squad of Army Rangers on what's supposed to be their final training exercise, deep in the wilderness, far from any backup. But something is out there, something not from this world. The exercise becomes a fight for survival against a massive otherworldly killing machine. Think Predator meets Zero Dark 30. The soldiers are trained for human threats. They have zero protocol for whatever this thing is. That mismatch is the entire tension of the film. Pure survival, no safety net. If you missed the days when sci-fi action movies were lean, mean, and actually had stakes, War Machine is bringing that energy back. Coming in at number 9 is Hope, and fresh off its wild premiere at the Cannes Film Festival. This is the international sci-fi thriller you cannot afford to ignore. It marks the massive, long-awaited return of legendary South Korean director Na Hong-jin, the genius behind The Wailing. The setup is pure tension. A remote harbor town near the DMZ is thrown into chaos after a mysterious, otherworldly entity lands and starts hunting the residents. With all communications completely cut off, the town is trapped in a brutal daylight fight for survival. It features a massive global cast including Hwang Jung-min and Zo In-sung, alongside Michael Fassbender and Alicia Vikander. Think The Predator meets The Wailing with a cosmic twist. If you skip this one, it is a crime. At number 8, Good Luck, Have Fun, Don't Die.
Who's joining me? Who's ready to save the future?
Gore Verbinski directing a sci-fi dark comedy about the AI apocalypse? Sign me up immediately. Sam Rockwell plays a man from the future who walks into a Los Angeles diner and has one night to recruit the exact right combination of angry, disillusioned strangers to help him stop humanity's extinction. Not the best candidates, not the most qualified, the precise combination. Sounds insane? It gets insaner. Where this film truly excels is in its flawless balancing act, juggling world-ending sci-fi stakes with a fiercely sharp, chaotic, satirical edge. Rockwell is at the absolute top of his game here. It crashes the time-bending urgency of Tenet straight into the misfit dysfunction of The Breakfast Club, but with the fate of reality hanging by a thread. It is funny, it is dark, and it might actually be the most unique sci-fi concept of the entire year. You absolutely don't want to skip this one. Number 7 is Slanted, and this one hits different. A Chinese-American teenager named Joan is desperate to fit in at her high school. She wants to be prom queen so badly that she undergoes an experimental surgery to change her race and appear white. It's body horror meets social commentary. The surgery works, until it doesn't. The consequences spiral into something deeply disturbing and completely unforgettable. This isn't traditional spaceships and alien sci-fi. This is the kind of science fiction that uses one impossible premise to expose something real and ugly about the world we live in right now. Think Get Out meets The Stepford Wives with a laser focus on identity and belonging. It's bold, it's uncomfortable, and it's exactly the kind of movie that sparks arguments in the comments. Let me know what you think about this one. Landing at number 6 is Disclosure Day.
I know you.
I know you do. What happened to us?
This one literally just dropped in theaters yesterday, and Steven Spielberg has officially reclaimed his crown as the absolute king of the alien thriller. Emily Blunt leads a tense, high-stakes story centered around a massive global cover-up of extraterrestrial contact. When a localized UFO event goes horribly wrong, she is thrust into the middle of a terrifying government conspiracy where nobody can be trusted. This is not your heartwarming E.T. story. This is Spielberg going incredibly dark and gritty. Think Close Encounters of the Third Kind meets Sicario with a pulse-pounding conspiracy edge. The tension is absolutely relentless, and the visual effects during the abduction sequences are pure nightmare fuel. The hype leading up to this release was insane, and somehow it actually lived up to it. If you want a masterclass in sci-fi suspense, you need to see this immediately. Coming in at number 5, cold storage.
What is it?
I don't know. But it's big.
Here is the setup. Decades ago, NASA sent a fungal organism into space to test how it would mutate. The capsule crashed back to Earth, but the fungus inside evolved into something brain-controlling, body-bursting, and absolutely terrifying. It has been frozen in an underground military bunker ever since, but now the temperature is rising, and the ice is melting. The true genius of this film is its insane balancing act, fusing visceral fungal horror with sharp sci-fi action comedy in a way that absolutely works. Liam Neeson, Joe Keery, and Georgina Campbell are the unlucky team trying to contain this thing before it spreads. Written by David Koepp, the guy who co-wrote Jurassic Park, so you know the pacing is razor sharp. It infects the suffocating paranoia of the thing with the rapid spread terror of Contagion, all laced with a wickedly dark sense of humor. The tension is relentless. If body horror makes you squeamish, watch it anyway. You will just be watching through your fingers. At number 4, things get absolutely chaotic. Mike and Nick and Alice is a time travel caper that throws every rule out the window.
What's happening?
I'm you.
But I'm from the future. I came back in a time machine.
Vince Vaughn and James Marsden play two friends tangled in organized crime, but the real twist is the time loop mechanics. Every decision creates a new branch. Every mistake can be undone, but at a cost nobody sees coming. Isa Gonzalez rounds out this absurdly charismatic trio. Directed by Ben David Grabinski, this film is less of a serious sci-fi drama and more of a punch-drunk comedy of errors with time paradoxes. Think Looper meets Snatch if Guy Ritchie had a physics degree. The Polygon Review called it Looper for the dumbed-down streaming era, but honestly, that undersells how much fun this movie actually is. It's zany, it's unpredictable, and it never takes itself too seriously. Sometimes that is exactly what sci-fi needs: pure, unfiltered chaos with a time machine. Coming in at number 3, the one horror sci-fi fans have been begging for, 28 years later, The Bone Temple.
Are you ready?
Danny Boyle is back, Cillian Murphy is back, and the world he returns to is unrecognizable. It's been nearly 3 decades since the rage virus tore through Britain. What's left isn't just survivors hiding in bunkers. It's something far stranger. Ralph Fiennes plays Dr. Ian Kelson, a man who has discovered something in the ruins that could change everything. Something built from the bones of the infected themselves. The Bone Temple. What makes this film stand out is how it transforms a zombie franchise into something genuinely ambitious. This isn't a zombie movie anymore. It's a study in what happens when humanity adapts to apocalypse and builds something horrifying from the rubble. Alfie Williams plays Spike, a young survivor navigating this nightmare, and Jack O'Connell leads a brutal new faction with their own terrifying agenda. It's brutal, devastating, and the kind of bold filmmaking the genre has been starving for. Boyle is here to prove you wrong. This is going to leave marks. At number 2, The Bride.
I am a monster.
Yeah, so am I.
Christian Bale, Jessie Buckley, Annette Bening, Maggie Gyllenhaal writing and directing. This is not your grandmother's Frankenstein. Set in 1930s Chicago, a lonely monster walks into the office of Dr. Euphronius and asks for one thing: a companion. They bring a murdered woman back to life. But the bride? She is not what anyone expected. She's not a passive creation. She has her own mind, her own rage, and her own desires that nobody saw coming. What makes this film stand out is how it starts as a gothic love story and explodes into something far more dangerous and beautiful. Buckley plays both the original murdered woman and the bride, and the duality is stunning. Bale disappears so completely into the monster that you'll forget it's him. Think Poor Things meets Mary Shelley with the production design of a fever dream, an $80 million budget for a gothic sci-fi romance. Warner Brothers is betting big on this one. If you skip this, you are missing the most original sci-fi of the year. And finally, the one you've been waiting for. Number 1, Project Hail Mary.
We're here for the same reason. His son is dying too. If we're gonna save our planet, we have to learn how to communicate.
Based on the novel by Andy Weir, the same genius who wrote The Martian, this film stars Ryan Gosling as Ryland Grace, a schoolteacher who wakes up on a spaceship light years from Earth with absolutely no memory of who he is or why he's there. His crewmates are dead, his ship is failing, and Earth is dying from an extinction-level cosmic event. He has to solve an impossible scientific mystery to save the entire human race, completely alone, with nothing but his brain and whatever equipment still works. What makes this film stand out is how it balances massive spectacle with genuine emotion. Phil Lord and Christopher Miller are directing, and they know how to make you feel something. Think The Martian meets Interstellar meets Castaway, but with a twist halfway through that will genuinely rewire your brain. If you read the book, you know exactly what I'm talking about. If you haven't, do not let anyone spoil it for you. If you watch only one film from this entire list, make it this one. It is going to be the sci-fi event of the decade. So, there's your list. 15 sci-fi movies in 2026 that the algorithm is burying while everyone talks about the same 3 blockbusters. Which one are you watching first? Drop your pick in the comments. And if you think I got the rankings wrong, fight me in the comments. I read every single one. Subscribe to ReelRanks for more hidden gems, and I'll see you in the next one. Happy binging!